1 hour north of Toronto. Welcome to Bowlerama Bayfield, a state-of-the-art bowling center in Barrie, home for the next 3 weeks for Women's 5-Pin Championship Bowling on CBC. Men or women, 5-pin does not discriminate. It still takes skill with a touch of finesse and nerves of steel in this demanding television format. Hi everyone, I'm Steve Armitage along with Bill Douglas. Well, last year the women finally landed their own 5-pin series on CBC television. And Bill, they did not disappoint. Yvonne Walker had a high of 360 and they averaged 261.
Well, this is a great venue to showcase the finest women bowlers in Canada, and they didn't disappoint, you're right. And I don't expect this field to be any different. Extremely talented, lots of experience, both television and nationals. There's 27 gold medals in the mix between these ladies. 5 perfect games, a pair of 448s, and 7 of the ladies averaged over 250 last season in regular league play.
And who do we see in our first matchup today?
Tammie Herman of Maple Ridge is the #1 seed. She averaged over 307 to qualify. A 7-time member of Team BC with C5 and Masters experience. Edmonton's Tracy Smith has pins game, C5 and Masters experience in a 32-year career. 4 national golds and a 448 round out her resume.
And in the second matchup,
Shelley Baer of Saskatchewan has competed at both C5 and YBC Nationals. The only left-hander in the field, the #4 seed, was a national all-star in Sudbury. Nova Scotia's Theressa Atkinson is making her second appearance here in Barrie. She has a YBC national medal in her 12-year history.
From a total purse of $20,000, the winner of our women's 5-pin series will take home $10,000. The runner-up leaves with $5,000 in a 3-game total pinfall final. It's an all-Western showdown to begin our women's series on CBC. Tracy Smith from Edmonton, Alberta, the #8 seed, against Tammie Herman of Maple Ridge.
Tammie Herman to lead this off, 27 years worth of experience, C5 and Masters Nationals. Great history in the game. And off to a great start. 3-step back up, crosses over the head pin, right hand pocket.
Seems like a great way to begin.
And it seems like the slow ball may work better here in Barrie. We saw the ladies actually outscore the men last year. See if that holds true this year. Another one, crossover, right hand pocket. Both ladies very smooth delivery. Both backups.
Tracy, an account executive with Nike Canada when she's not bowling. Quarterfinalist in the TSN Pins game last year, so she has some TV experience. Trying to double with her second ball, first ball in the second frame.
Oops.
Lane 9 again. We've seen in the men's division, we had some trouble with that approach. The players just couldn't get used to it. Tracy's very long slide to the foul line, and it looked like she stuck a little bit on that one. As soon as you get that, it can throw off your release position and where the bowling ball goes.
Strike in the first, but head pin difficulty in the second. Takes out 3 and 2 on the right side, but she leaves that corner pin on the left side, so she's open in the second frame and sits down with a total of 36. Now Tammie Herman trying to double with her first ball in the second frame.
Little different lineup on the approach for Tammie. She stands to the right, throws the ball third arrow from the right hand side with a little bit of a backup. She'll play either pocket and get pretty decent action. She's familiar with synthetics. The approaches didn't seem to bother her, nor the ball reaction she was getting. This one on the inside of the head pin. Well done, Spare.
strike and a spare to begin with for Tammie Herman as she moves back over to lane number 9, the left-hand lane, the lane that seems to give both our 5 and 10 pin bowlers a little bit of difficulty.
Third arrow, a little break. That's the extra count back on that spare. That one, she got it into the left-hand pocket and the ball was backing up into it. A little bit thick, but good rotation. Straight up the boards at that 3-pin.
Nothing but marks so far for Tammie. A couple of spares and a strike. Now Tracy Smith. She was open in the second frame after striking in the first. First ball in the third frame.
Tracy lines up on the left-hand side of the approach and she drifts a little bit right. She'll pick center arrow. Great shot there. Left-hand pocket. Again, the ball's driving into the pocket. And that's where they'll get their best action and reaction. A little bit of move at the back end. Not much doubt.
Has a career high of 448. Did that in the final game of the 2003 National Open. Good place to have a career high. She'd like a double right here.
Oh, she missed that to the right. It was just a board or two right of the center arrow and the ball stayed right. Needs this on the inside of the head pin on the left side. Now center arrow, little move with the bowling ball.
Open in the second, strikes in the first and third, and a spare in the fourth. That's the scoring summary for Tracy Smith. This is Tammie Herman. Working on a spare. First ball in the fourth frame.
A little force on that one by the looks of things. Got it in the right-hand pocket thin, and again with the backup, the ball's going away from the right-hand pocket. Let's see what happens here. She just chops the 3-pin behind the corner pin, and the bowling ball followed it.
Needs this to keep solid with the marks. And she won't get it. She knew it.
That ball she threw was in between third and fourth arrow, or third and center arrow, and she really, from what I've seen in practice, she's looking at third arrow to make that corner pin spare. Better shot right on the arrow.
Cleans up, but it's an open frame for Tammie Herman. Open in the fourth, spares in the second and third, and a strike in the first. Now she moves over to lane number 9, the left lane here at Bolorama Bayfield.
Oh, third arrow just on the right side of it, and she caught enough of the head pin to carry this strike. Smooth approach, very long slide. That time the 3-pin took out that right corner pin.
Tracy Smith working on a spare with her first ball in the 5th frame.
Ooh, good looking shot. She won't believe that reaction. Left hand pocket, exactly where she wants to throw the ball, and she gets ripped on a left corner pin.
High league average last season of 257. Right now she has a potential of 319 in this match.
Look out. Back up, broke away from that corner pin. Head pin in an open frame already for Tracy in 5 frames, and every time you have an open, you need a double to get the score back. That's the one she wanted.
Open in the 2nd and 5th frames. Spare in the 4th, and strikes in the 1st and 3rd for Tracy Smith. Right now, advantage Herman. Tammie Herman against Tracy Smith. This is our opening match of our Women's 5-Pin Championship Series on CBC television. And this is Tracy Smith. First ball in the 6th frame.
Nice smooth push away. Really long slide. Yeah, Tracy's right. Missed that one really wide right. She's going to pick it up. She's been trying to shoot center arrow, and that one was in between third and center arrow and way right. Overcorrection, pushed it left that time.
All our bowlers are wearing microphones, and at times they will do their own analysis. At times.
And they'll beat themselves up pretty good when they've made a bad shot.
A second open frame for Tracy Smith in a row. Open in the 5th and 6th. She was open in the 2nd. Sits down at 124. Tammie Herman now trying to double with her first ball in the 6th frame.
Oh yeah, third arrow back up into the left-hand pocket. Third strike of the match. And first double. Good reaction. Bowling ball that time skipped over and took out the left corner pin.
A 3-time team gold medalist at the Masters Championships. And you can see why.
She's got a lot of room. The angle she's playing, she could miss her mark by a couple of boards, and she's got the advantage. She can be in either pocket and seem to carry very well.
4th strike of the match, 3 in a row for Tammie Herman. Now Tracy Smith needing strikes.
Better. Atta girl. Good shot. She gets that big, long follow through and great extension. Center arrow back up into the pocket. She's got to get the ball out on the lane. Get that good reaction.
She needs the double. First ball in the 8th frame.
A little thick. Got a good break there, leaving a right corner pin. First right corner in the match for Tracy. Missed a left corner in the 5th frame. Covers it up, good spare. The open frames may be her undoing though, Steve.
Second spare for Tracy Smith as she sits down with 154, and when she gets up, she'll be working on that spare from the 8th. But this is Tammie Herman. She's going for 4 strikes in a row with her first ball in the 8th frame.
Look out. That one right on third arrow, thick on the middle, but the good rotation on the ball breaks up a possible split. Right corner, her second of the match. She missed one in the 4th frame. And on this same lane, lane 10. A little stumble at the foul line there, pushed the ball right. Gives Tracy a little bit of a reprieve here.
And she was unable to clean up, unable to finish. A second open frame for Tammie Herman. She was open in the 4th and now open again in the 8th. So Tammie Herman opening the door just a bit for Tracy Smith. This is Tammie Herman going to work with her first ball in the 9th frame.
A little bit of a skip. Bowling ball took out the right corner pin. Don't think she liked the way she threw it, but she'll certainly take the reaction she got. Just about misses the head pin.
And that was strike number 5 for Tammie Herman as Tracy Smith working on a spare first ball in the 9th. And that's the strike she needed.
And a great shot again. Good extension and follow through. She gets this ball out over the lane. Great reaction back into that left-hand pocket.
She more or less has to be perfect to finish and hope that Tammie Herman stumbles a bit more. Tracy Smith has got to keep it going. Looking for the double with her first ball in the 10th frame.
Cross. Out right on the nose. Drove it straight back.
She has a potential of 244. Head pin is not what she wanted to see in the 10th frame.
And neither's that. A little bit academic now. She really needed to get at least a double in the 10th frame here. She would have forced Tammie Herman into marking in the 10th.
And she leaves a couple, which is not what she wanted to do. She sits down with a total of 217. She cannot win this match. It'll be Tammie Herman who moves on to the next round in our women's 5-pin series. She's already sitting at 229, working on a double with her first ball in the 10th.
She's getting great reactions, Steve. Anytime she's been the least little bit thick because of the rotation on the ball, she's broken up possible splits and at least given herself something sparable. Left corner spare. First corner pin spare of the match for Tammie.
She'd like to finish strong because she knows that she is moving on.
And it's all about getting lined up for the next match.
Big momentum, and it swings to Tammie Herman as she defeats Tracy Smith in our opening match of our women's 5-pin series by a count of 289 to 217. Open frames in the 5th and 6th, the undoing for Tracy Smith. It's Herman over Smith, 289, 217. We're set for our second match in show number 1 of women's 5-pin here at Bolorama Bayfield in Barrie, and it's Shelley Baer in the blue from Pilot Butte, Saskatchewan, the number 4 seed, against Theressa Atkinson of Clarks Harbour, Nova Scotia, the number 5 seed, and she's in the green. And it'll be Shelley Baer leading things off on lane number 9, the left lane.
Left-hander says she forces the backup. She really likes to bend the ball a long way. That can be good and bad. The more boards you cross, the more trouble you can get into. And it's all about a question of accuracy and consistency. These lanes could be tough for that big breaking ball. She's got to find the right line to get to the pocket and be able to carry. And that was a good shot. Finish it off.
Took out the head pin, left the right corner pin standing, so it's 13 on the board for Shelley Baer as she sits down, and Theressa Atkinson goes to work. Lost in the preliminary match in our CBC series last year. She bowled a 301.
Yeah, amazing. You can bowl that well and still lose. And we've seen that happen in the men's too. Back in 1990, Gaetan Beauchamp threw a 316 and lost his match.
Hardly seems fair, but
that's match play.
That's bowling. Atkinson now trying to double with her first ball in the 2nd frame.
Third arrow crosses over the head pin. Leaves herself the left corner. A little bit of a backup, but not really a lot of movement on the ball.
Silver medalist back in '93 at the YBC National Championships.
She goes straight up the board, shooting that right corner pin. A little different than most of the players who will take a big angle to increase their chances.
Now Shelley Baer goes to work in the second frame, coming off an open frame to begin with.
Oh, big cross that time. Went from way right side of the lane, crossed over, left-hand pocket. Leaves that right corner pin. With this breaking ball that she throws, this corner pin could be an adventure.
It is.
Basically, you run out of room when the ball's trying to break. In her case, back up right to left on the lane. The gutter gets in the way. Two times, one left, one right, she missed. Shelley's going to have to find the line.
26 through 2 frames. A rocky beginning for Shelley Baer of Saskatchewan.
Third arrow from the left side, right-hand pocket, that time carried thick.
And that brought out a smile, as well it should.
Pick it up here. Smooth delivery, lots of break. Left 3-pin rolled over, took out the left corner pin.
Atkinson working on a spare.
Just caught a piece of the head pin. Good count back on her spare in the second frame. Left-hand side just catches a piece of the head pin. Picks up the extra count on that spare. Again, straight up the boards at the 3-2. And that's the danger when you go straight at it. Punches the 3-pin straight back.
So this will be an open frame for Atkinson. The question is, can she clean up?
Accurate, cleaned up all her wood so far. Made a good spare in the second frame.
Advantage Atkinson at this point, but Baer is working on a strike. Theressa Atkinson and Shelley Baer. This is match number 2 of our opening show, women's 5-pin.
Whoops. Kind of forced that one. It was way left to begin with.
Atkinson got off to a good start with a strike and a spare, but she was open in the third and is looking at a difficult spare situation here.
She wanted to be in the right-hand pocket. That's where she was trying to get the ball to, but forced it. She's quite a bit right. Takes out the right 3-2. That's just a matter of hitting the head pin, trying to slide it over and pick up the left corner. Clean up this mess.
And she leaves the left corner pin, so 2 open frames in a row for Theressa Atkinson after a strong start with a strike and a spare. Sits down with a total of 83. Shelley Baer opened with open frames in the first and second, and is now working on a double with her first ball in the fourth.
Now a little bit thin, left-hand pocket going away. Leaves that right corner pin. Second right corner of the match. Both of them coming on lane 10. You can see she just caught a piece of the head pin. No. Tough one on that right corner for Shelley. Had the opportunity to get a lead in this match. Leaves it again.
Just can't seem to find the range with the right corner pin on the right lane. So Shelley Baer is open in the first, second, and fourth as she goes to work in the 5th frame with her first ball. She has a potential of 337. Compare that to Atkinson's potential of 353.
Thin again, this time left-hand pocket going away. Leaves the left corner pin. This one should be an easy corner for Shelley to attack because the ball's breaking into the pin. And does just that.
Her first spare to go along with a strike and 3 open frames as she takes a seat. Her potential dropping to 322. Theressa Atkinson now. 2 open frames in the 3rd and 4th. First ball in the 5th.
Good looking shot. Didn't break. I'm expecting that ball from a little bit of a backup movement, left to right, and it didn't. Stayed dead straight. Drove the head pin straight back. Good cleanup on that right side 3-2. Match has been a little bit seesaw. Looks like one of the girls is going to get on a roll and then interrupts it with a missed spare or a head pin.
But the next roll could make the difference, whoever it is.
It's kind of like the last one with the ball wins. And in this case, the last one to get a mark may win this game.
Atkinson open in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And Baer open in 3 also. Theressa Atkinson back to work in the 6th frame with her first ball.
A little more movement on that one. She hit the head pin fairly thick, but got away, broke up the split. Left corner, her first one of this match.
It'll be her 2nd spare. She can take it out.
Right at it. Well done.
Now Shelley Baer working on a spare. First ball in the 6th frame.
Up.
Oh yeah, that time ball stayed a little bit straighter and she caught the head pin thick, but again, she's got so much rotation and movement on this bowling ball. 3-pin took out the right corner pin that time.
And that may be the roll we were talking about.
Not bad. Ball made a big move back into the right-hand pocket that time. Leaves the left corner. 2nd one in a row on lane 9. As soon as it left her hand, she knew it. Missed it in the middle of the lane. Seesaw back and forth again.
Might be an opportunity missed. Works that time.
That's the one she wanted too.
Open again in the 7th frame. Sits down with a 140 total. Has a potential of 275. Atkinson now working on a spare in the 7th.
Now forced left. Lose a little bit of count on that spare back in the 6th frame. But an opportunity here to get a spare and to get the lead in the match.
Still anybody's match right about now.
Oh, missed both sides. Second time she's done that this match. Back in the 4th frame, she punched a 3-pin and missed the spare. Here misses both sides. And misses the head pin in a close match to leave 5 pins on the lane. Boy, that could be a big error.
140 to 128 favors Shelley Baer. But it's Theressa Atkinson who has to go back to work with her first ball in the 8th frame. The left lane. Lane number 9.
Whoops.
It's for you, Cam.
Speaking about Cam Robinson, who picked off a corner pin in one of his matches in the men's division. Now, it just doesn't look comfortable out there right now. She's forcing every shot. You saw her get off to a good start. Strike, right corner, and then a chop off that she missed. And since then, she really hasn't looked comfortable throwing the ball.
Better cleanup that time for Theressa Atkinson, but the story is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 open frames for Atkinson. And that really gives Shelley Baer a chance now with some kind of mark to try and put this one away.
Good hit.
A big turn, caught a piece of that. Third right corner of the match. Watch how much break there is on this bowling ball. Again, 3-pin just kind of died at the corner.
And this is the lane. This is the corner pin that she's had difficulty with.
There it is. Made the spare that time.
She knew it, and she knows how big that could be. Baer, a spare. Atkinson open in way too many. Shelley Baer. First ball in the 9th frame, working on a spare.
Big comeback ball. Left corner, third corner pin left in a row on lane 9. So far she's 1 for 2. Make this spare, it'll give her a good lead in the match going home.
Got it just, but just enough to give her a second spare in a row. Now Theressa Atkinson comes up, knowing that she's got to put some marks up.
Now she can finish with 4 strikes and 233. Not now. Drops her percentage down to 218, or her possible score down to 218. If she can get it this spare and 3 strikes in a row, she may put some pressure back on Shelley Baer. Good start. Now she's got to make this first good shot in the 10th frame. She only had 1 strike so far in the match, and that was the very first frame.
Needs a strike. First ball in the 10th frame.
Set it down on the lane. It was right from the moment it left her hand. Nope. Tough game for Theressa. Never really looked comfortable. We were expecting some fairly good things from her after her 301 last season. Same lanes.
And she cleans up and sits down with a total of 178. And the winner of this match is Shelley Baer. As she goes to work on a spare. First ball in the 10th. And the dreaded head pin jumps up and grabs her.
She's avoided them. That's a first one of the match because of that big breaking ball. She breaks up a lot of potential head pins and head pin splits.
Punches a 3-pin back on the left side. She's got the 2 corner pin and the 3-2 on the right side remaining. She will move on. Takes out the 3 and the 2 on the right and shakes hands with Theressa Atkinson. It is Shelley Baer, Pilot Butte, Saskatchewan, winning our second match in our opening show, and she does it 201-178 over Theressa Atkinson. Welcome back to Bowlerama Bayfield. We're getting set for our first semifinal in our women's 5-pin series. It's Tammie Herman in the red and Shelley Baer, a lefty, in the blue. Baer from Pilot Butte, Saskatchewan against Herman from Maple Ridge, BC, the #1 seed. And Tammie Herman will lead things off.
She got off to a great start in that match #1 victory over Tracy Smith. Just like this, 10 for 11 on the middle, 6 strikes. Very solid game.
And 3 of those 6 were in a row. So Tammie Herman off to a quick start, a good beginning. This is Shelley Baer.
2.
Yeah, a little bit right. Ball never came back. Shelley's got to get it lined up so she can get to the middle. She hit the head pin fairly well the first match, 9 out of 10. She only got 2 strikes. Her big thing was the right corner pins. Had 3 of them and only spared 1.
She starts with a spare in the opening frame in her semifinal against Tammie Herman. Shelley is the co-proprietor and manager of the Glencairn Bowlodrome in Pilot Butte, Saskatchewan.
Yep, thin going away, chop off. First one she's had. Pick up the big rotation on the bowling ball, how much it moves across the lane surface. Really struggled with any spares on that right-hand side. Now she's 1 for 4 over there between right corner pins and this chop off. She got away with the open frames in her first round victory because Theressa struggled so much. Against Tammie Herman, I don't know if that's possible, Steve.
Yeah, she spared in the first, open in the second. Now Tammie Herman, who started with the strike, looking for the double with her first ball in the second frame.
Look out. Now just about got a break on that one. It's the head pin split. The head pin and the left 3-pin chopped out. She'll go after the right 3-2 on this one. Make sure the big count back on her strike in the first frame.
And she's left with a pair of aces, a couple of corner pins.
And clean it up. Both ladies open in the second frame.
Takes out the left corner, but leaves the right corner. So Tammie Herman, after showing some good promise in that opening frame with the strike, follows it up with an open frame as she goes to work in the left lane, lane number 9, here at Bolorama Bayfield. First ball in the third frame of this first semifinal against Shelley Baer.
Oh, she was worried about that one. She was right of her mark, and it just stayed there. Must have taken something off of it. A little bit sticky, something going on again with that approach on lane 9. Ball stayed in the right-hand pocket. She got a big break on carry.
Shelley Baer.
Right-hand pocket. The ball's driving hard into that with that big break. Left corner pin. Shelley's been pretty good on these. 2 for 3 in the first match. Now, ball got stuck in the middle of the lane, never really broke. And now the other side.
Wow, leaving too many pins standing. She's open in the second and third frame. Shelley Baer has dug herself a hole to begin this semifinal against Herman. Shelley Baer, this could be a big mark here. She is trying for the double with her first ball in the 5th frame.
Got a chance. Left-hand pocket that time, and even though the ball's going away from the head pin, good reaction this time. A little bit thick, but bowling ball took out the left corner pin, again because of the angle it's coming into the pocket at.
She was trying for the triple. She takes out 3-2 on the right side, leaves the head pin 3-2 on the left.
And she has a tendency when she misses to miss right. Did that in the first game and did it in the first frame in this match. Loses count on that strike back in the 5th frame.
Boy, that might be a golden opportunity missed.
Now she's picked up the lead in this match, Steve, but yeah, really, would have been a great chance to add to that lead.
Good job of cleaning up, though. She sits down with a 120 total. Compare that to Tammie Herman's total of 89 through 5 as Herman goes to work with her first ball in the 6th frame.
She's 5 for 5 on the head pin, but she's had 2 strikes and 3 head pins. Got to get this one on the side. Forced it left. That's the ball we saw work when she did get strikes. Left hand side, balls breaking left to right on the lane. That one never came back. Another shot on the inside of that spare.
She needed marks, and that's a good one. Coming in the 6th frame. So now she will try to add to that total. First ball in the 7th. Working on the spare.
Strike here, and she's right back in this match. Oh, broke up a big one. That was looking like it was going to be head pin all the way.
That had head pin written all over it.
Ah, really did, but a little bit of rotation on the bowling ball, and she breaks up the split. Both 3 pins doing the job.
Shelley Baer coming off an open frame. First ball in the 7th.
Misses left.
She's got the head pin. 3-2 on the right side remaining.
No, same spot. Really struggled with her accuracy. She's hit the middle, but she's really, she's struggled making spares. That was a better shot.
Nice cleanup. Goes to 135 as she moves over to the left lane. Has a potential of 270. Both women inconsistent. Shelley Baer. First ball in the 8th frame.
That's a better shot. Come back to the pocket. 3rd strike of the match for Shelley Baer. That time, good looking swing right over the mark. Ball back to the pocket.
Tammie Herman now trying to double with this first ball in the 8th frame.
Lots of time. 3rd arrow, good cross. That time she got something on it, and the ball came back to the pocket.
And that's her 3rd strike at this semifinal against Shelley Baer. Make that 4 strikes. She had one in the 1st frame that I wasn't counting. 1st, 3rd, 7th, and 8th. So this is her first ball in the 9th frame.
No. Missed that one to the right at the arrows, and it stayed right. Now she's got to work hard, make sure of this spare. 9th frame is the foundation frame. You get a mark here, it can set up your 10th frame. Ooh, on the outside, the hard way, but made the spare.
Again, not how, but how many, and that was a key spare for Tammie Herman as she sits down. 184 through 8. Shelley Baer now trying to double with her first ball in the 9th frame.
Hit.
First one, yes. Good looking shot that time from Shelley Baer. First double in 2 games.
Having trouble counting those X's. She did double in the 4th and 5th frame. Now she's trying for the triple.
Hit.
This could be huge.
Oh, big shot. She needs 1 more strike and a 5 count, and she can shut Tammie Herman out.
Good.
Oh, yeah. Big finish here by Shelley Baer.
Clutch bowling. 4 strikes in a row for Shelley Baer from Pilot Butte, Saskatchewan.
Just keep this one in the middle of the lane. Count 5.
Get it.
Go to the final.
What a way to finish. 5 strikes in a row, and she is final bound. She finishes at 270, and Tammie Herman just cannot catch her. She's working on a spare with her first ball in the 10th frame. Leaves a left corner pin standing. Hopefully she'll leave Barry with some fond memories of her first experience in our CBC series. Hope to have her back next year if she can qualify. Takes out that left corner pin. Gets her another ball.
Difference in this match, 3 head pins. Tammie Herman. Split in the second and then back-to-back head pins in the 4th and 5th. Really the difference. There it is.
Strong finish for Tammie Herman.
Way to go.
It's a strike, and she finishes at 242. But the winner of this semifinal and heading for the final is Shelley Baer, Saskatchewan. Comes on strong in the end and wins it 270 to 242. Next week from Barrie, 4 more of the best.